Why microservices Posses in application development? It is also known as microservice architecture, implies that it is an architectural style that structures an application as a collection of services that are widespread and reliable in the development of complex and large applications. The use of microservices in the development of applications is that it can resolve the method of building complex applications by turning them into small chunks and fragments so that each fragment service runs in its own process. In easy terminology, you can take it as service-oriented architecture for application development that allows developers to develop small chunks of services for an app instead of making a whole complex and large application. Imagine you have an app that is monolithic or colossal, then you and your team must be working really hard for the building and maintenance and have to deal with to solve all the errors and runtime errors. But in the case of microservice architecture, you have several independent applications chunks that can run on their own. Microservices architecture allows us to develop big and complex applications with sort of simple and independent codes of the program to form an application that is going to be complex and gigantic in nature, and these services too can run independently on their own. It allows developers the ability to perform and develop small tasks instead of monolithic and colossal apps in whichever technology and frameworks they are experts in. This facilitates them to work and develop the whole complex application in modules or small services which can interact with other microservices and possibly could have the same name and URLs too, and are always consistent in case any failure or error happens, and can be easily tackled by a team of developers. Reimbursement of microservices. As we discussed earlier, microservices are small fragments of services that can be easy to build, maintain and solve errors in no time if occurs. Microservices are best because the team has enough time to solve the particular cases without tempering the whole application altogether. Since there are several small applications, implementing a new feature is easier than we think, and on top of that, you can get lines of code which is reusable in forthcoming implementations. Microservices improve your architecture's scalability. The thing is, microservices offer us to build software applications with fewer hardware needs, less manpower, and also maintainability and scalability. With microservices have more possibilities than monolithic applications. Cloud frameworks such as Docker and Kubernetes are easy ways to deploy these microservices, and due to fewer dependencies, there is no need to write new lines of code. Microservices are imperative. The reason why many organizations opt for microservices is its working functionality to build small applications that can run into their own environment and which are easy to resolve or implement new lines of code with continuation delivery of applications. As it supports containerization, it becomes easy to build small applications along with its separate container where the environment is preferably for its need to run that application. Microservices supports continued delivery, so it allows us to make changes and develop new codes for particular services without downtiming the web applications. Microservices allow us to update any applications without making an inconvenient environment for the users, and this makes an organization and app wonderfully stronger than the rest of the others. Microservices are cutting-edge technology. All the applications which are huge and colossal in the built environment and single technology based have to suffer from the losses at the downtime of their application if code bursts. It makes it easier for developers to experiment with things and functionalities on applications without fear of bugs and error or dysfunction of apps elsewhere. Microservices has less dependency. Having said that, in the architecture of microservices application development, each application has its own component that also containerized its own independently managed environment and facilitates the software developers to perform optimized and scalable tasks which can be updated and managed easily. This means applications building from multiple components are much better in every aspect than ideal technology and language dependent. Many organizations and businesses need to make changes in their applications, but due to language dependent it's hard to make changes in working applications and it's risky to merge and implement new codes to the existing ones. Concluding thoughts. We have gone through almost all the aspects that are possibly strong to build applications in microservice technology, but also seen that it's cost-effective, iterative, more lucrative than monolithic architecture services. Microservices have the power to create complex applications and are easy to collaborate with technologies like the cloud for deployments and cost-cutting too. As it needs less time to build a new update and work on it, it becomes the necessity of today's trend and its development, and developers are high in demand, which is generating employment also. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, stay tuned for more interesting videos and hit the bell icon.